Hello class, I hope that you are okay today and ready to study a new topic. In this case, the topic that we are about to analyze, the topic that we are about to study is one specific modal verbs. Remember that in English we have several modal verbs. We have can, that is used for ability, must, that is used for obligation. We have might, could, and may, that those are used for prediction, and there are many modal verbs. In this case, we're going to study the should modal verb. Take a look to this sentence because this is the equivalent in comparison to Spanish. Always when we say this expression, when we say deberías, we use should. So this is the equivalent in our language. And obviously, if it's negative, that is should not, and the contraction is shouldn't, it would be no deberías. For example, you should wear a helmet. This is a recommendation. Or you shouldn't watch too much TV. Okay, like should is referred, or it refers to a specific modal verb. It is used always, the should is going to be used for one specific context. And this context, as in Spanish, is advice. Okay? What is an advice? Consejo. So a recommendation, a suggestion. This is the use that it has. So always when we want to give a recommendation, we use should. In this case, like all the modal verbs, the rule is going to be for affirmative should. We have the subject, we have should, and we have the verb. Okay, the verb in the base form, we don't need, in this case, be careful, we don't need to add ing, we don't need to add to. I don't say, the rule doesn't include a to, okay, so no to in the middle. We say, you should study, okay, you should wear a helmet. If the sentence is negative, so as you know, we have the subject, we got should, and then we are going to have not plus the verb, okay, the verb base. If it's interrogative, we start with should, then we are going to have the subject, and we are going to have the verb in the base form, and the complement, obviously, at the end. Okay, remember that the contraction of should not is going to be shouldn't, and the pronunciation of should, okay, this is going to be the pronunciation when we pronounce should. The pronunciation is going to be like this, okay? Should. So we don't have to say should, okay? So should is the pronunciation, just in case for you to have an idea on how to pronounce the correct modal verb. As I said, we use it to give recommendations, to give a piece of advice, to give a suggestion. So in this case, activity, it says you should or you shouldn't watch too much TV. Imagine that is a sedentary person. So I would say you, in this case, I am going to say you should watch too much TV in case that the person maybe is bored. But if I want to say you shouldn't watch too much TV, it would be in case that the person, in this case, is sedentary. So what I want to say is that depending the context, we can have one. We don't have information. For me, the main answer is going to be you shouldn't, because we are maybe, I am imagining that the person is sedentary and usually it's not recommendable to watch a lot of TV. In this case, we have a situation, we have something from previous information. You've got a cold. So if you have a cold, it means that you should go to the doctor. This is the recommendation. You have a headache, okay? So in this case, when we have a headache, the recommendation is you should take an aspirin. You got a rash, un salpullido, you've got a rash, okay? So you should put skin cream, okay? Some cream. So this is what I want to say. Should or shouldn't is depending on your context. With exercises, we need a little bit extra information to imagine, like in this case, if it's affirmative or negative. But when that's why it's necessary when we evaluate this exercise to have extra information to imagine the context of the conversation. And remember that should is always going to be used for giving an advice. So when we give a piece of advice and we don't need the ing, we don't need the to, and this is how we give recommendations in English. Okay, I hope that you understood the video today, and if you have doubts, let me know.